They were told humans were weak, that in war, they broke easily. But when the cadet was shot in cold blood, and his alien teammate walked out 23 seconds later soaked in his blood, carrying only his head and nothing else, the galaxy learned a terrifying truth. It wasn't the humans who should be feared, it was those who called them friends. The outpost was supposed to be a training ground. Joint operations between species had become common since the Concord Treaty. The Gari Empire, the Varkol Dominion, and humanity were all working to build trust, integrate forces, and prepare cadets for what the galaxy considered cooperative defense. It was meant to be a symbol of unity. Until they shot him. Cadet Leo Marks had just finished his route around the perimeter. His armor was scratched, his pulse rifle low on charge, but he was smiling. That stupid grin he always wore, even when the drills were brutal. Even when his Gari squad mates mocked his slower reflexes or primitive instincts. Kira, the Varkol female assigned to the unit, had been the only one who treated him with something close to respect. She didn't laugh when he made mistakes. She didn't mock his soft eyes, but she didn't stand up for him either. Not until the last day. The Gari sergeant, a large, chitin-armored brute named Jerix, declared it a final simulation test. No instructors, no oversight, just the squad alone in the old outpost deep in the canyonlands. "We're simulating a hostile breach," he'd said. "Prepare for ambush drills." But it wasn't a drill. Kira knew the moment Leo took his position on the North Ridge. The squad moved too quietly. Not a single word over comms. Not even their usual grumbling. Then came the shot. A plasma bolt cracked through the still air and slammed into Leo's chest plate. Not the shoulder, not the leg, center mass. He dropped instantly, twitching. Kira froze. Jerix's voice crackled over private comms. "Target neutralized. Retrieve the body. We'll send a message to the Terrans." Kira stood there, her blood thrumming. Her four-fingered hands trembled. "What the hell did you do?" she asked. "Silence the weakness," Jerix replied. He didn't belong. None of them do. She ran. The ridge was steep, but she knew the paths. She'd trained there for months. She stumbled once, slicing her leg on a rock. She didn't stop. Leo was lying in the dust, armor scorched and cracked. Smoke still rose from the hole in his chest. He was still warm. Kira dropped to her knees. "Leo," she whispered. "Damn it." His eyes were wide, glassy, unseeing. She clenched her jaw, tears stinging her dark eyes. Then she heard footsteps. Jerix and two others. Laughing. "Go ahead," he said. "Mourn your pet. They'll replace him soon enough." They didn't see her reach for the plasma knife. The first one died before he saw the blade. The second tried to raise his rifle, but Kira jammed the knife through his throat. Jerix stepped back, stunned. "You're one of us." "No," she said coldly. "I was." She lunged. Their claws met in a brutal clash. His strength nearly broke her arm. But Kira was fast. She ducked under his strike and buried the knife deep under his plated chest. He collapsed, gasping. He was weak. She looked down at Leo. "No," she said, tears falling freely now. "He was better than any of us." Then she did something no one expected. She cradled his body. Her hands moved carefully, almost reverently. When she stood up 23 seconds later, she was covered in his blood, and she was carrying only his severed head. She walked back to the outpost's main gate, alone, silent, eyes forward. The other cadets stood frozen. No words, just the image. Kira drenched in red, breathing hard, holding the head of the human cadet they all mocked. The one they killed. She placed it on the command table in front of the lead Gari instructor, then spoke only 4 words. "Human blood is sacred." The investigation rocked the Concord Academy. What had started as a quiet cooperation program spiraled into political chaos. 3 Gari cadets dead, 1 Varkol female confined, her actions considered mutiny, and a human cadet murdered during a training simulation. The footage told everything. There were no hostiles, no accident, just cold-blooded execution, and one alien's refusal to be silent. Kira didn't defend herself when the Inquiry Council questioned her. She simply played a short clip from her helmet cam. Leo, smiling at her just hours before the incident. "I know I screw up a lot," he said, "but I'm trying. I want this to work. I want us to be something better than what we used to be." Then a laugh. His. "I brought coffee from Earth. It's terrible. You'll love it." The clip ended. The silence in the chamber was deafening. The Gari ambassador tried to call it an isolated case. The Varcold delegates remained still, and the Terran representative, a woman named Admiral Reese, stood slowly. My people have been called savages before, she said. Monsters. Brutes. But we've come to the table. We've bled beside you. We've lost sons and daughters trying to protect planets we didn't even know existed a century ago. She turned to the council. But the next time one of our cadets is shot like an animal and left in the dirt, we won't send ambassadors. We won't send letters. We will send judgment. Her eyes fell on Kira. But this one, she didn't kill in rage. She killed because justice didn't come fast enough. Kira was released without charges. She didn't return home. She asked instead to be transferred to Earth. Months passed. A monument was built in Leo Mark's hometown. Just a simple granite pillar with his name and the emblem of the Intergalactic Concord Cadets. But at the base, carved by someone unknown, were the words, "He was not alone." Kira stood before it alone. She wore a simple Terran jacket. Her claws were clean, her heart heavier than ever. A little boy approached, curious. "Did you know him?" She nodded. "He was my friend." The boy looked up. "Are you an alien?" She gave a small smile. "Yes." "Are aliens scary?" "Some are," she said. "But some are just trying to be better." He reached out, offering her a small flower. "My mom says when someone dies saving someone else, they become a star." Kira took the flower, swallowing the lump in her throat. "I think he already was." They never found out why Jerix turned on Leo. But the message was clear across the galaxy. Humans were not to be underestimated, nor were those who loved them. And when new cadets came through Concord academies in the years that followed, they heard the story, not just of Leo, but of Kira, the alien who walked out of a canyon soaked in blood, holding her teammates' severed head, not in victory, but in mourning. And they learned, some aliens are terrifying, but the ones who mourn their fallen humans, those are the ones you should never cross.